Well, guys, we made it. Here we are at the end of the semester. You might be finished with your work at this point, or hopefully you're coming close. Even if you aren't, even if you still have more work to do, you still have made it this far. We are 5.5 weeks into a lockdown as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And it has been hard in a lot of ways that a lot of us expected, and hard in ways that maybe we didn't expect. It's been hard in ways that kind of connect all of us. We've probably, most of us, experienced frustration with using Zoom, for instance, or with understanding how to complete our assignments or class activities using digital tools and technologies. And it's been hard in very individual ways. We've each had personal struggles that have challenged us and have maybe made it difficult to do some of our work. Nevertheless, here we still are. And I want to take a moment to say how proud and happy I am to have had the opportunity to spend the semester with you guys. You did some great work. In these recent weeks, since spring break, I've seen so many students become surprisingly and really touchingly vulnerable. Students who have shared details about themselves with me and with their fellow students that I've never had students share in a traditional classroom. I've had students provide insight into cultural phenomenon, assigned readings, literary texts, topics of discussion, or even just life under quarantine that I have found profoundly inspiring and touching and insightful. And I want to say that truly, I think that I have probably learned more from you, my students, this semester than you might have learned from me. And I'm very, very happy and grateful that that's the case. Hopefully you noticed that in recent weeks, I talked a lot about empathy and connection. And even in some of my classes, I tried to point out that this pandemic actually demonstrates the degree to which we are fundamentally connected. One of the reasons that we're in quarantine right now is to create physical distance, to sort of promote a physical separation. Because when we catch a virus from one another, that is one way of demonstrating that our proximity is a form of connection. But we're also connected in these other ways as well, both through our very individual struggles during these times, and in the ways in which we've all struggled together, the ways in which we're all experiencing some things that are at least to some degree similar. We're all afraid, we're all worried about the future. We're worried about what it's going to look like if and when this is over. We want there to be a vaccine. We want some magical thing to happen and just be the end of all of this. We all feel that way right now. And in that regard, we again are connected. Now, I don't want to do a thing where I reduce various very important individual characteristics, beliefs, and perspectives into one homogeneous thing. I really don't. But I do want to say that I think it's worth considering that just as this sort of pandemic doesn't really care that much about so a lot of the details of who you are, what you believe, and what you think and know and see, so too might this be a way for us to consider how we might view each other in other ways as well. And in other words, I think it's worth noting that we are, in some significant and meaningful ways, all connected to each other. And I think that that is one reason to try to engender empathy, or to at least understand that we're all feeling some stresses and fears and concerns right now. And we're all hopefully united in our hope for something that comes better. I've seen that in your essays, in your CourseWeb conversations, in the conversations we've had through Google Hangouts or on Zoom or email. I've seen evidence of a lot of sincerity and hope and goodwill. I see it when I walk around my neighborhood. People in my neighborhood say hello to each other more often than we used to. And I've seen it in instances of people just helping each other through hard times right now. People offering even their own food for those who can't get it or don't have access to it. I think that while the world is a very, very scary place right now, there's a lot of evidence that we still can have some hope to hang on to. And that hope manifests, at least in part, from our connection to each other and our ability to empathize with each other. And so let me just say again, these thoughts, these perspectives come largely from watching you guys this semester. You've demonstrated this stuff to me, and I'm very, very grateful for it. I hope that you have as good of a summer as you possibly can. I hope that we're back on campus in the fall, and if we're not, I hope that you'll still consider enrolling in classes just to be a part of an academic community in some way or another. Of course, our activities over the past few weeks can't possibly replace our classroom experiences. But again, it has exemplified and engendered connection and hope. So again, have a great summer. I hope to see you again as soon as possible. To those of you who are graduating, I am so sorry that you're graduating under these very unfair circumstances, and I hope that you'll find a way to celebrate your achievements and your successes. For those of you who are still thinking about whether or not you should take classes in the fall, I totally understand your concern, and I hope that no matter what you choose, you'll make decisions that promote good mental and physical health, and that you'll take care of yourself during these hard times. All right, thank you for a great semester, and take care.